It's me, the Tabletop Tyrant, and today we are going to be talking about the Mothman. So when I was a kid, one of my favorite memories with my mom is we would go on these trips to Michigan as a family to see our family. And we'd stop at these rest stops along the way. I was coming from Illinois. And we'd be walking through the woods, and my mom would scare the crap out of me with these stories of Bigfoot and the Michigan Dogman, the Wisconsin werewolf, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But one that always stuck with me was the Mothman. She'd talk about his massive bat wings and these glowing red eyes, and man, after that, I was done. I would be on my way back to the car, my little ass looking back at the woods, making sure I wouldn't get captured. Now, why do I bring this up? When my mom's birthday around the corner, I figured I'd make a video for her about one of her creepiest cryptids that she has a lot of fun with. So Mom, this one is for you. So for everyone out there that's not me or my mom, what the hell is a Mothman? Well, the descriptions vary, but most eyewitnesses say he's a giant bird-like creature standing anywhere from 6 to 8 feet tall. And those 2 feet do make a difference. That's like telling someone on your Tinder you're 6 feet tall when you're only 5'8". But he's got huge leathery wings up to 10 feet across. And the creepiest part are his eyes, glowing red like embers. They cut straight through the dark and look into you and potentially your soul. Now, some people say he's a demon, others say he's an alien, and everyone agrees though Mothman is bad news. Now, what makes Mothman kind of different from your typical cryptids, right? Now, he doesn't run from people. Now, most cryptids show up, they're in blurry videos, half-baked, half-assed trail camera footage. They're always ducking the camera, walking away, blurry, Bigfoot, like the Patterson Gimli. But Mothman, people don't get pictures because they're too busy running for their lives as they piss their pants. Or they're frozen in place staring at something they don't understand. Now, I will preface this with the few eyewitness testimonies we do have. They were on a little bit of the hashish, if you know what I'm saying. And, what does that have to do? I'm not saying people would make that up because they're high, right? They still went to the cops and told the cops what they saw. But it should be noted that that is part of the reason. Now, where the hell do you go to see a cryptid or to stay away from a cryptid? Well, that's a great question. Now, if you want to see one or stay the hell away, Point Pleasant, West Virginia is the place. And up until now, I thought West Virginia was only famous for Country Roads by John Denver. Great song, by the way. But apparently it's also home to the Flatwoods Monster, the Grafton Monster, the fucking Sheep Squatch, the Blue Devil, and yes, the Vegetable Man, which I'm pretty sure is the reason why my brother would never finish his vegetables. But I'm not making this crap up. These sound like knockoff Elden Ring bosses, if you ask me. Now, in Point Pleasant, it's all on the Mothman. They're all about that guy. They got Mothman Pizza, which, yum. Mothman Cookies, again, my fat ass, water coming out of my mouth for these bad boys. And a freaking Mothman statue. That is a picture of my folks at the Mothman statue. Pretty freaking beast. Now, if you want to go and check any of this out, they even have a museum where it chronicles everything you could want to know about Mothman. Link in the description below. It's fairly affordable, and honestly, after talking to my mom and dad about it, it seems like a trip that if you're into this stuff, you should check out and go there. Now, I want to kind of dive into a couple of the theories. So what the hell is Mothman? Because I gave you a description, but we still don't know what that is, right? So the first theory, he's the harbinger of doom. Like the pale horse rider from the Bible and the end times, Mothman harbinges the doom. Now, why do I say that? Now, right before the Silver Bridge collapsed in 1967 on December 15th, great month, there were dozens of Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant and lights in the sky. Unfortunately, for 46 people, they lost their lives when the bridge failed, and the official reason was a single eye bar snapped in the suspension chain. But after that, there have been no more sightings above the bridge or in the sky. Now, some say the Mothman was there to warn us. Others say he caused it. And with an 8-foot tall body and 10-foot long wingspan, he probably stood on that single I-beam bar and broke that shit. I'm just saying, he's probably not the lightest thing in the world. Either way, when they reconstructed the Memorial Silver Bridge, which it's like building the Twin Towers and saying they're the Memorial Twin Towers, I don't make it make sense. He has not been seen ever since. He's gone. He's vanished, which is pretty freaking crazy. Now, again, 10-foot wingspan on that bridge, probably a little more than it should be. The second theory is aliens. That's right. Anyone that likes Giorgio Tsoukalos and freaking ancient aliens, this one's right up your alley. The glowing eyes and the sudden appearances, the timing with disasters. Now that, to some people, is alien behavior if they've ever heard of it. Maybe he's observing, or maybe he's scouting, trying to take over the world as we know it. I'm not sure if that's it, but you know what? I can't say no. I guess that's the thing, right? And the third theory is he's an interdimensional time traveler. This one's for the sci-fi fans out there. Mothman is not a monster, nay, nor is he an alien. He's a time-shifting, interdimensional being. He phases in and out of the world. Now I know what you're thinking. If he's a time traveler, how does he know where to land since the Earth is flying through freaking space, orbiting around the sun, and not in the same place it was 2 seconds ago? Mathman does the fucking math in his head. Get that. So I don't really know much about it, but now why would I say that he's a time-traveling, shifting crazy man? That is because Mothman was not just sighted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. He's also been sighted in Chicago. I'm just saying, do I believe that Chicago, a city built on crime and corruption, would fabricate a Mothman sighting to profit off of the legend? No, never. They would never do such a thing. I still think you should go to Point Pleasant if you want to see it. So, whether you believe he's a monster, an alien, or whatever, a time-traveling ghost with a freaking PhD in physics, there's no denying one thing. Mothman has become a legend. Point Pleasant embraced him, and people across the U.S. tell stories about him. And for folks like me, my mom, he's part of our memory and our folklore, like our imagination. Now, if you're looking for a cryptid that's creepy, fun to chase, I think this one's it above any of the others. Between the pizza, the statue, and the spooks, Mothman is more than a scary story. He's a piece of American weirdness that you just have to experience. Happy birthday to you, Mom. Thanks for sharing your love of the weird with me and for all the stories that stuck. And to all of you watching, thank you for hanging out. Drop your favorite cryptid in the comments or let me know if you've ever seen something you can't explain. Stay strange, stay curious, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.